Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I am Bueller, and this is another creator interview. And we have my good friend Jonathan back here. Jonathan, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing, Travis? Thanks for having me
I
back on.
I am doing great. I think I've had you on the channel a few times now, and it's always a pleasure because not only just having you on the channel as a creator, you're also a good friend of mine,
Yep.
and we've known each other for many years. So anytime I get a chance to hang out with you and talk about comics,
Hmm.
I enjoy it, and
Yes.
I'm very lucky to have friends like you that are I consider really close. So
Thank you.
thank you for being here again. And
My
we're here
pleasure.
to talk about your next Kickstarter that's going on right now.
Yep.
And I'm just going to kind of give it to you. And I've asked you this before, the elevator pitch
Yep.
on what it is. And you're really good at doing this.
Thank
So
you.
go ahead and do your thing.
So the new title's called Brackish. It's I would say mini series to ongoing series. We'll see how that pans out. But my elevator pitch for it is think Yellowstone meets Romeo and Juliet in the Florida swamps.
Okay.
So longer pitch is there's these two families that have been had this blood feud for centuries in this backwoods area of Florida near the swamps. And I'm a Floridian, so I pulled a lot from my own experience living in the area. One family lives on the freshwater side. One family lives on the saltwater side, and in between is where the brackish water is where they made like a neutral ground. And then they've had a truce. No one was fighting for decades, but now the youngest kids on both sides of the family fall in love, and the deal kind of gets broken, and then other mysteries and things that were hidden underneath the swept underneath the rug come out publicly, and it just fall chips start to fall, and it's going to be a really cool like mystery, violent romantic drama that it's something I haven't really done before, but still in the realm of what I have done at the same time.
Very nice. I like the play on the title, the brackish,
Yes.
because I used to have fish in an aquarium, and I had saltwater fish, I had freshwater fish and stuff, and then obviously brackish is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And obviously that's a play on that word, with
Yeah.
bringing the two different families together. And so was that all along? Like, yeah, this is a good name for it.
Yes, that title is definitely on theme with the whole entire series and what I have outlined in the future. It's always going to be about two worlds blending together.
Mhm.
That mixture between different cultures geographically and just physically. So it's going to explore a lot, and it's going to be. I think it's going to unfold in a very a hook way. People are gonna see that a cliffhanger at the end of every issue, and it's gonna want to pull them in even further. So I'm having a lot of fun making it. It's been something I've had in the works for years now, and it's finally gonna be a real thing.
Now, I talked to you a little bit earlier last week and stuff, and one thing I noticed on the Kickstarter campaign, it was like a 20-day campaign. Normally, I've been used to a 30-day campaign, and there's a little bit of a difference between the other ones you've run. Can you kind of jump on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, it's actually being run by a crowdfunding publisher
Okay.
named Metal Ninja Studios. So they took the burden of running the campaign, and they're going to be fulfilling it, which is great for me because that's one less thing I have to worry about. And at the same time, I have this team that's invested just as much as I am in the
Hmm.
success of this crowdfunding campaign. So uh, Joel Rodriguez, who's the letterer on Brackish, also is the runs Metal Ninja Studios, and he was interested in expanding his company from graphic designing, lettering for comic books, and adding like a publishing arm to that company. And he approached me with the idea. I was like, yeah, let's do it, man. So I am less alone in this
Yeah.
crowdfunding project because they're invested in it as much as I am, which is really cool. So they selected a 21-day campaign. But I'm okay with that.
Sure.
They've done their research. There's a team of people over there on that side. It's not just Joel, and it's really cool. I don't
Yeah.
have to carry the weight of the project.
Yeah. Speaking of that weight, and me and you've talked many times, and you've had that weight on your shoulders almost every time that I can remember.
Yeah.
So I know that for you, having that off your back right now and having some partners kind of pulling their own weight, because I know you've worked with other people that, let's just say it what it is, maybe didn't pull their own weight as much as they should have, and it kind of fell on you the whole time. So I'm glad that you're with a team right now that's going to make it so you can concentrate on, hey, I'm a writer of this comic book. Let's make it the best book I could possibly make it, because I don't have to worry about the other stuff because I have a team that's taken care of. So I'm really happy that that's off your plate right now. But I also know that you'll probably always double check to make sure that everything's, because I know how you are. So you'll make sure everything's, make sure this is taken care of, which is good. What about who's the artist on the project?
It's an Italian artist named Riccardo Ficini. I've seen his work before. He's done some things at Dark Horse, some stuff at Marvel, and I hired him at the early part of 2023, and he's already finished issue 2, and he's well on his way to issue 3. So I mean, that goes to show like how far we're already invested in this project. I mean, this isn't just going to be a one issue crowdfunding campaign. You never see anything else ever again. Like we're committed to making this at least a 5-issue miniseries or more, because I have it plotted for longer than that if possible.
Very cool. Now you kind of have a thing for Italian artists. Is that?
I mean, there's a lot of talent over there in that area. But I mean, I discovered Riccardo through a previous editor. But my wife Francesca, she's an Italian artist over there, and she recommended 2 Italian artists that are variant covers on the Brackish campaign as well. So there's a lot of lots of Italiano in this project.
Very cool. Well, let's jump back to a Brackish here in a little bit. Let's talk about some of your other work that people might be more familiar with. Let's talk about one that just recently kind of hit the stores. Can I Scream? Is it Can I? For one, I thought it was called Canned Ice Cream. And I was like, that's not it. That's not something he would do. But no, it's called Canned Ice Cream, and that thing sold out, man. I had to hunt that down.
That's right.
To find a copy. I got some from you because I'm lucky I have the hookup gentleman right here, so he took care of me. But I did go to my local comic shops looking for this one by Keen Spot. Honestly, Keen Spot's not the easiest books to find out there on the market, but eventually I did find a copy, and I read Can I Scream? And man, I was like, this. I was pissed off. I read it and I got pissed off because I this is a one shot. I was like, this is it can't be. There's so much more story that you left on the end of that could be told. Right. Why would you do something like that?
Man, I mean, I'm happy to hear that, to be honest with you. And I'm totally open for more, adventures in the world of Can I Scream? But, like it is in indie comics, it's hard to make a monthly series. We don't see that many ongoings in indie comics, especially in small press publisher comics. So, I feel like that 24 hours that issue takes place in wraps up a nice little, moment in these two people's world where, if nothing ever happens again, they're like, that's cool. And people can, fanfic the rest of it. But we can always, revisit it and do another one shot, or a prequel down the road without feeling that need where we have to stop everything and, work on a full volume for months to a year, before, and not have any other work. So it's a challenge. And we're both waiting for someone to back a dump truck full of money into our front yard so we can make these comics that people want us to. But in the meantime, we're nickel and diming and pinching pennies to make what we can.
Sure.
So that's why, we're on crowdfunding campaigns and we're pushing stuff constantly. It's because, we're doing this so we can make more comics, not so we can, drive Bentleys and, have champagne dreams and caviar lives and stuff like that.
Look at that's a Richard the Famous reference right there.
I think I might have mixed the words around.
Yeah, I think you did too. But what's cool about the Can I Scream, and we mentioned her a little bit ago, but this is a husband and wife project. This
That's
is
right.
something that you and Francesca got to do together, which is just fantastic. I know you guys had wanted to do something together. Me and you have talked about, actually the three of us have talked about it together. And to finally see a work come out with her artwork, which is just amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
And then with your words put to that story. And that's why I was pissed off when it was over. I was like, I mean, they're messing with me.
Yeah.
Two very talented creators put this book out and it's over. And, I'm like, come on, you guys. I mean,
I know.
But
at least there's that one. At least there's the one out there. And, the Keen Spot was great to work with. I even told them, like, wow, you guys are awesome. And they were shocked to hear that. They're like, wow, we knew like there was other dirtbag publishers out there, but they were happy to hear that they're, not one of those. And I even have another book coming out with them later this year too. So
nice.
I had this book that I could have pitched all over the place. I went straight to them and they're like, yeah, we'll take it.
That's great.
So they're good people over there. They promoted the book. They didn't overprint it, which helped to make it a success. They didn't print 3,000 copies and there's a warehouse, full of them. They ordered conservatively. Same thing with the variants. And like you mentioned, it sold out through Diamond. It sold out on the publisher's website. I'm down to a few copies and it is going to second print with the new
great.
cover.
I was going to ask that.
Yep, it's going a second print with the new cover. So that should be in Diamond for an August release. So I think maybe we'll see it in previews in July.
Is the new cover from your wife?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Francesca did this second print cover as well. They're gonna release the original cover again, but with a metal cover.
Oh, cool.
A metal cover through Diamond, which you don't see that often. And then there'll be the new second print cover. And I think that's really cool. So that it was worthy of a second print. That says a lot.
Yeah. As I said earlier, I hunted this book down in the local Portland area. I went to a bunch of different comic shops. I finally got a shop, Tifa had some. So I got my copy there, but I had already ordered a couple copies from Jonathan the week before, but it says I'm still going to look because I want a reader copy. So I got my copies from Jonathan. I got the regular copy, and I think I got the shiny cover.
The foil, yep.
Yeah, and I ended up giving that foil to little John. Remember, you met John?
Yep.
Yeah, I gave it to him for his 65th birthday.
Oh, that's a nice gift.
Had your signature on it and had Francesca's signature on it, so he really liked that quite a bit.
Yeah, John's a great guy. We love him.
And he's a big fan of yours and your wife and stuff like that, so he really enjoyed it. So he might not remember it because he drank a lot that night.
Well, good for him.
As he should on his 65th birthday.
Right.
But he really enjoyed it, and plus he has some original artwork from your wife as well.
That's right.
And it's some of his prized possessions in his collection, so it's very cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other stuff really fast because I think about a month ago I got my copy of Spill Blood.
Yes.
And in the mail with a bunch of all the perks that came with it. Now this campaign was very successful campaign. It hit different tier after different tier. Here all the time. A lot of people jump on board. And I think the reception of the book has been really good. Now, I will tell you, and I'm not trying to put down the artist that wrote this or that drew this book, but your words outshine the artwork a little bit. And that's a testament to you because on the artwork itself, I was a little iffy on some parts, but the story was so good it carried through the artwork that I might have struggled with a little bit. And so I appreciate your efforts on that book, and it's in my possession. I love it. I've given away a couple copies because I got a few different copies and stuff. And you kind of threw me a little bonus with my package, so I appreciate that a bit. So that's
My
really
pleasure.
cool. But
Yeah,
I really like Spill Blood. I really
thank
enjoyed
you.
it. I'm really looking forward to getting it. And God, what a great quality book. When I
Thank
say
you.
quality, it's just the paper quality, the cover, and everything. Man, I appreciate that stuff,
Mhm.
and I know you do too.
Yep.
And was that important to you to make sure that, hey, this is a good quality book?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Stefano Carticelli, who was the artist on that book, I've worked with him before. We did Freak Show Night,
Mm-hmm.
Caffeinated Hearts,
Yeah.
Space Cadet, now Spill Blood. And, we funded in 25 hours,
Yeah.
for
I
that book.
remember.
And it was, unlocking tier. I was setting, for the most part, a new stretch goal every $500 and having to come up with something else. So I was like, you know what? Let's just make this like the highest quality paper that we
Yes.
can for people. And maybe we can move some of the digital backers into physical backers too, which is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with, people that just want the digital either, but it's a 36-page book, and we wanted it to be meaty. So that's the interior pages are 80-pound cardstock. I'm not cardstock, 80-pound silk. That's
Sure.
silk paper, and then the covers are 100-pound cardstock with UV coating on it. So
Yeah.
I mean that thing's almost, I don't want to say bulletproof because someone's going to try it. Oh, we heard on Comics Review that, and you're literally going to spill blood if you try to use that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a thick comic book. I think it would grade well at with the CGCs and CBCSs and stuff. But yeah, I wanted some people to hold that book, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of fun to produce too. It was a fun story to write. I tried to really flex with to make it feel very noir with a little bit of a little poetic, and I pulled from a lot of Bible references because it's a very dark religious theme.
Yeah.
And it the end product I'm super happy with. Stefano's already on board with doing a follow-up too. We just got to get
That's
projects
great.
lined up. Yeah.
One of your biggest problems is that and I'm sorry to tell you, man, I get to the point there's not enough.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's like I read Spill Blood, enjoy it. I'm like, okay, now what do I do?
And I appreciate that
more. So,
it goes back to that we need that dump truck of money.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's frustrating as a reader. I 100% get it, but it's even more frustrating as a creator. Because I have to, if I'm still paying for all my projects, I can only do so many at a time. I can write scripts all day long, but they'll just collect dust unless I can hire artists to do the artwork. And then, that's a lot to invest in. And it's, I have books I completed, a year or 2 years ago. I still haven't got reciprocated my end of it.
Yeah.
So it's a long con. So hopefully, that being said, more publishers will start reaching out, taking more risks on us, because I think when I say the people I've worked with, and Francesca as well, I think we have a proven track record that we can do this on our own in small press crowdfunding world. Imagine if you just fronted us $3,000, $4,000 an issue, but people aren't taking risks right now, Bueller.
Yeah, no, I get it. Now, if I remember correctly, the Spill Blood came from, and I think you told me this, the artist sent you a picture. He's like, look at this character, because we should do and it was just the image. Okay.
Yep.
And and he's like, could you write a story on this?
That's what
that's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. He sent me a pinup that we used as promotional images a lot, but it's just this red background, this black sketch, and he's like, I don't know what this is, Jonathan, but I want to make a comic book of this. I'm like, all right, we'll make this our next crowdfunding book. If you're okay with drawing it in advance and then getting paid afterwards, that's a good, deal right there. And I just kind of went from there. I saw he looked very priest Gothic like. I saw the halo, and I immediately thought, we got to do something Ghost Rider, Spawn, Punisher, and that's where How Spill Blood was born.
Very cool. Now, if I remember correctly, the last time I had you, we did a video together. It was promoting the Spill Blood.
That's right.
And I just want to tell everyone who watched that video, who's watching now, thank you so much. If you guys jumped on board to do the Kickstarter for that, like I said, it did really well. I'm hoping we can do something similar with Brackish, and that's why I wanted to have Jonathan on here so he could give an opportunity to talk to you guys that is watching. And I also want to take a minute and just, whoever is watching, and I know some publishers watch my work as well. I work with Dynamite. I work with some other ones. Black Box Comics, will hit them in a minute, but there's other ones that watch as well. Jonathan is the type of creator that he just doesn't write the book. Yes, he writes the book, but he promotes the book. Yes. And that goes a long way. So if you're a publisher that wants a book written, you can get that from Jonathan, but you'll also get a creator that promotes that book as well and helps get people on board. And that goes a long way for independent publishers or even the major publisher, Marvel, DC, whatever it is. But Dynamite, wink, wink. It's funny because I had a conversation with Nick Barucci the other day, and he was telling me, we picked this writer over a certain writer because we knew he would help promote the book. And Nick told me that flat out. That's why they went with that writer for a certain title. Yeah. And over a bigger name that they had on board. So, Nick, if you're watching, this guy does something similar to what you are looking for. So I'm just putting it out there.
Well, thank you for recognizing that, Travis. Because that's writing it is only half the battle. I got this. I paid for this banner for Dream Master. That came out of my pocket. Black Box didn't pay me for it. They're a great publisher, but I bought that's a double-sized banner. Yeah, I bring it to shows with me, and I sell Dream Master because I love that book and I want to write more of it. Speaking of Dynamite, big props to Dave Pepos for doing Space Ghost. I'm so jealous. I would love to have taken on Space Ghost, but he deserves it, and he promotes the hell out of it too.
Oh yeah, he does.
So I mean, that's exactly what I would be doing. I would have the Space Ghost T-shirt as well, the action figure. I'd be binging the old cartoon shows. That I go method with this kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up David because I had David on the show. We were promoting the Space Ghost, and stuff, and he had mentioned that. Then I started following David after that. I had him on the show, and true to form, exactly what he said. As far as him promoting, he does that exactly. I go on all his social media accounts, and he's right there every day promoting Space Ghost or whatever he's working on. He works on other titles as well. But you can really tell he got on board with Space Ghost and is really excited about it. I could tell right away when I interviewed him how much he was into that book and stuff. And then the book finally came out last week. Yeah, I believe it was last week. It's great. And Jonathan Lau is the artist, and he's a great artist as well. Yeah. Lau actually did my Blowtorch cover for me years ago. So seeing his artwork inside a book was a lot of fun to see. So, promoting these smaller independent publishers and their works, it's just not writing the book, it's all the legwork that goes behind it. And I personally vouch for this gentleman right there. I've seen it in action. So anyway, thank you. Let's talk about Dream Master a little bit since you
yes.
And let me first start out with Dream Master and say this. Okay, eventually more issues are going to come out, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And without giving anything away, nothing away. Is there a certain issue that people should be looking out for specifically for a certain reason? I'm not going to say, but what issue would that be?
They should really look forward to issue 12.
Issue 12.
Yes.
For no apparent reason.
No apparent reason.
Pointing it out right now.
Yes. Issue 12.
Issue 12 will be something very special.
Yep.
and a one-of-a-kind type thing.
Exactly. That's the one.
Okay, issue 12. Okay, I just wanted to get that squared away. Not referencing anything at all, but just there you
Right.
go. But so we're currently volume 1 has been done for a while. It's already out on shelves. It's been out for quite a bit. So volume 2 will be next, which has become issue 6.
Yeah.
And how much have you written volume 2 already?
Oh yeah, volume 2's in can as far as scripts go.
Okay.
Issue 8 artwork. That's where the artwork is on right now. Issue 8. So
Okay.
6 and 7 are done. I think we're just waiting on some colors, maybe for issue 7, or maybe we're just waiting for issue 8's cover to be colored. So we're about halfway done with artwork side of volume 2. Demetrius said perhaps the beginning of 2025 for volume 2 and previews. And in the meantime, I've been speaking of promoting, I've been promoting the hell out of this one for the Ringo Awards.
Yes.
The Ringo Awards closes for fan write-in nominations on the 17th of this month. So if people haven't done it yet, if you read Dream Master, or if you just don't have anyone else to nominate, please nominate Dream Master and the creative team. Give us a big boost, because that would put more eyes on the project. It would, go a little further for us than it would some of those other guys that are used to getting awards.
Yeah. And I nominated Dream Master on the Ringo Awards. I got my vote. I filled out everything and stuff, and I was more than happy to do so.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a good quality book. I've enjoyed it from the very beginning. I had a very small piece of helping make that happen, so I feel very fortunate to be able to say that, and to see the product actually come out over the last couple of years. It's special to me.
Good. Yeah.
I was more than happy to nominate that book, and just to see it keep on going. And like I said, issue 12.
Issue 12. Remember, big dozen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, what else? We talked about Can I Scream? We talked about Spill Blood. Talked about Dream Master a little bit. What am I forgetting? I probably am, but I know you guys got things covered.
Well, I mean, that is more current stuff, but I mean, nothing we can really name. But Francesca and I both did recently have a publisher approach us to do a secret project, and which was really cool. We're wrapped up our 6-week tour of Can I Scream promotion, and then at the end of it, a publisher was like, "Hey, we want you guys to do this project. How quick can you get this done? Because they want it out in the world next month, mid-June." So can't give details about it yet, but if people liked seeing Francesca and I work together, you're going to see us working together again soon. And it's from a publisher that wanted to take a risk, Now, and I don't want to say risk as a bad way. It's just someone that was just brave enough to be like, husband, wife, writer, artist, 2 cool people. Let's give them a project, And
what could go wrong there, right?
Exactly. But nothing's gonna go wrong. But
that's cool, man. I'm excited to find out what that is. When will we be able to kind of know what you're referencing?
I think some mid-June. I think maybe around the second week, give or take, of June. This thing's should be out in the world, because it has multiple other things that it's packaged with. And they're like, "Oh, we need this thing done." And I stopped everything this weekend, wrote that script, and Francesca's wrapping something up so she can draw it. And it's just super exciting. And like we were talking about promoting, once it's out there in the world, I'm going to promote the hell out of this to show people, like, look at this cool project, because this is something that's next level. It's super unique, but really rad, and I can't wait to talk about it.
That's cool. You just mentioned you did the 6-week tour for the Can I Scream. and you went to one of my friends' comic shops, Big John Spilios, who's like 6'8".
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
really, really gentle giant, and I
Yep.
want to give him a shout out because he's a really
Super
great
nice guy. Yep. Yeah, we had a
guy.
lot of fun. That was our first stop at Famous Faces and Funnies #2.
Yeah.
Where we live in Melbourne is the first store. That was it used to be Tate's over there in Boynton Beach. Now it's Famous Faces and Funnies too. Our first signing there. It was a great turnout. I had a lot of fun. Met a lot of new people, new friends. Got to see some old friends, and it was fun. That was the furthest south we went too. That was our South Florida stop during the Ken Ice Cream tour.
And I know John got a wonderful piece that your wife did for him.
Yes.
And he sent me a picture of it that day. He got it. He was like, check this out, because he's a big Punisher.
Yeah.
And he drew a Lady Punisher figure.
Punisher. Oh, it's so good.
Her style, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
And he loves it. He's a big fan. Well, for one, he's a big fan of Black Box Comics in general. They do a lot of stuff there for and stuff. And he's a big fan of yours as well. So when he told me that you guys were going to be there, he was very excited, and he really had a good time. So I think
we did too. Yeah, lots of good people over there. That was a fun stop.
Well, let's get back to Brackish real quick, and because that's kind of what's bringing us here today about this new Kickstarter campaign. That, like I said, Jonathan just has to focus on doing the book. Doesn't have to do all the extra stuff, although he will double check, because that's the guy. But you know what, man? I go, this has only been going for a few days, but it is a shorter campaign. So I want to tell everyone who's watching, you have a smaller window to kind of get on board on this.
Yeah.
But please do. I mean, it's like you said. Go ahead and give us another pitch, just in case somebody skipped the first minute and wanted to watch the last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So just tell me it again and kind of how it came to be.
Yeah, I like to describe it as this dark romantic drama set in the Florida swamps. It's a love story. So think a little bit the show Yellowstone with Kevin Costner, but set in Florida swamps with the mix of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet thrown into it. It's just a cool setting. It's a fun book to write. I think people are really going to like it. The beta readers I've had for it, are like, where's issue 2? So I think it's going to be a real fun journey. It's going to be like a very cinematic adventure. You get to watch these two families, the history of them kind of unfold throughout the issues. And it's just going to it's going to be like an onion just peeling back with every issue, with more, secrets and mystery that's been buried in this, fictional area of the Florida swamp.
Yeah.
I think for anyone that's like, the romance, Romeo and Juliet, it's so much more than that, though. It's so much more than that. If you want a book that's something different, it's not superhero, it's not horror, it's something unique that's not really on the shelves that often. This dramatic, I don't want to say soap opera, but it's very, there's some tragedy in it. There's violence in it. It's just something I've been really wanting to write. It was something I pitched to a defunct publisher 3 years ago, and someone else that wasn't brave enough to take a risk. And now, scared money don't make money. And I was so committed to it that I made it myself. And now here it is on crowdfunding right now.
Very cool. Anyone who's watching, please check it out. There is going to be a link down below, direct to the Kickstarter campaign right now. I think it's on, when this comes out, I think it's already 14 days left. Let's just say 15, 14 days, somewhere around there. So you got a little bit of time to jump on board. Please do. And help Jonathan. I mean, he does great work. I wouldn't have him on the channel if I didn't believe in this guy. And I really do. He's one of my favorites. And I'm not just saying that because he's a friend, because I was a fan of his before we were friends. And it just kind of blossomed from there. But man, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me on again. Yep.
Yeah, it's you are welcome here anytime. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And do you have any other, like you said, you just got done a 6-week tour. Are you kind of done for a little bit, taking a breather?
taking a breather, catching up, getting ready for some other things down the road. So,
Right on.
yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming. And everyone, please, like I said, check out the Kickstarter campaign, give it a look. And if you like what you see, support it. It's worth your time. Jonathan, thank you again, my friend.
Thanks again, buddy.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to live your best life. You know what to do. We'll see you next time.